Here I am with Edwin. We're on our last hike of this 3-week trip, and I wanted to just share a little bit about why I like to practice out in nature. You can hear my friends in the background probably. They've been with us all the way. The birds are plentiful. Anyhow, there's a few things I like about it. Really, as I'm out in nature, the whole sense of self really shifts. That things get quieter. There's not so, the complexity of living in the worlds we live in gets much simpler. And that leads to a greater sense of ease. It leads to, how to say, being able to recognize more quickly when self starts to coagulate and get solid. And of course, that is where there's suffering. So in the seeing of that, then it becomes easier to let it go. So being in the natural world too, it moves pretty fast. You know, we have been in howling winds, and this morning we woke up and it was really cold. I mean, the elements are always changing. And so just being with change in a really simple way. And, you know, as I look out into the natural world, I over and over again see how things arise, they grow into trees or animals and flowers, and then things change. They decay, die. And that is just something that's natural. Sometimes, too, I find just being in the vastness, you know, the sense of space. Today, I was looking out at the ocean, and it was, you know, just a wide open space, and there was this tiny speck of a boat. And I'm not so much a sea person in that way. I like to swim in the ocean, but I like to stay close to the shore. And so I was kind of just like, what is it that draws someone to be out in, you know, the midst of this huge vastness? And then I just remembered all of the mountains I've climbed, all of the vistas I've seen from above as I was in that moment. You know, that sense of vastness and feeling like a speck of dust. Again, the sense of self just loses its rigidity. And I just imagined that person in the boat being able to have that same feeling. I also find that there is a real sense of appreciation. You know, just looking at the cycles of life here and how they keep going round and round. My friends are getting loud. Sorry, they're partying in the background here. That just this appreciation for those sounds, for the way that life just keeps replenishing itself, keeps moving, and you know, is beautiful to look at. It's just a natural appreciation for the environment, and it also just helps the mind to stay bright. You know, I did, as I think I've mentioned before, really become very interested in practice through climbing mountains and working with fear on the side of the mountains. And that just as you walk along here in Australia, it's different, the things that one might fear. You know, there's snakes or spiders, but there isn't big bears. But one needs to be alert and curious, interested, a part of the world that you're moving through. And so it just naturally brings to light what's happening, the awareness in the mind and interest in what's transpiring. And so, you know, with all of this, just to say that for some of us, we really find a way of being at home in ourselves, out in nature. And I know that's not true for everybody. If we've grown up within city walls and found comfort in the activities of city, it may not be so for you. But for many of us, this can be a way of replenishing, rejuvenating, finding our inner resilience. And I know for me, after 3 weeks of this, I just feel so deeply grateful. And that, yeah, well, the journey changes. So I look forward to seeing you in new ways, and hope that you find ways to replenish your own energy and rejuvenate yourself.